Hello, Teresa Love here. Thank you so much for clicking. It means so much. If you could like this video, that would really help out my channel. And if you could subscribe, I would love for you to join the family. So for the whole month of August, I participated in the NEWTS Readathon. This is hosted by G from Book Roast here on YouTube. I wasn't able to do the NEWTS last year because my sister got married, but this year I was able to do it and I had such an amazing time. First book I read is Nightlight by Harvard Lampoon. This is for charms, and this is a humorous book. I gave this book 1 star. I don't think I've ever given a book such a low rating. I hated this book. I finished it, but it was like pulling teeth. How do I explain this? So, here's the thing. The back was more interesting than the book. I thought it was gonna be, so what it was supposed to be was a spoof on Twilight, like a joke, which I'm fine with. I like the movie, vampires suck, like I like that funny stuff. But it started with like, first her name's Bella Goose instead of Bella Swan, which is fine. But then her dad is a window washer instead of a cop. And as it continued, I was like, I feel like this book is like a Mad Libs, you know, like when you were little and you would do like adjective, noun, and like you would fill out this Mad Libs thing and it would say this really weird story. That's exactly how this book felt. It wasn't funny at all. It wasn't funny because it was terrible. And then there was a few parts that really upset me. I am chronically ill and I'm disabled. And at one point she said PE was coming up and she said, "Oh no, I'm in a wheelchair." And all of a sudden she fell and they had to take her in a wheelchair to PE, which really made fun of the disability community, and I was not okay with that. So that one was just like, are you serious? And I think there was a little bit of racist things and I just was not okay with, and they made fun of people a lot, which I do not like at all. It was almost like a bowling book kind of, and I can't even remember. And the ending, of course they changed the ending, but I just like, yeah, no, did not like it. Next, for Ancient Runes, I read Alice in Wonderland by T.I. Sutherland. And this was read a classic. So I chose Alice in Wonderland because I don't like classics. The only one I'm gonna try I think is Great Gatsby. But other than that, like, I liked 1984, so maybe I'll try and find other ones, but I didn't really want to read like a big classic book, so I chose this one. And I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I've discovered that I don't really like when it's a book adaptation to a movie. Like, I didn't like Maleficent, where like they follow the actual movie. It just was kind of like blah, and also it was kind of gross. Like, they kept saying things that I was like, okay, that's kind of gross, but I guess it's because the Tim Burton version, so they were trying to make it creepy, but not my type of book. Next, I read Grave Mercy by LaFevers. I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was so close to a 5. I just felt, it was really long. Like, I felt like halfway through the book I loved it, and then like as it got longer I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of long. If it was a little shorter, I think I would have been at like a 5 stars. It's about this girl who, when her mom was pregnant, her mom didn't want her and she was gonna try to abort her, and she tried to abort her but the baby survived. Then when the baby was, it's a supernatural, when the baby was born, she had a mark on her and like poison and everything wouldn't affect her. So because of this, she got sent to this kind of like nun institute, and she had to learn how to be an assassin and like kill people based on what their person in charge told them to kill, which I love the assassin aspect. Like, I want to read more assassin books now, which I'm really excited for Throne of Glass now. But it was really good, and I want to read the rest of the series. I read that one for historical fiction. Also, historical fiction is not normally something I would read, but I was happy that I found a paranormal historical fiction. Next, for Ancient Runes, and this is an author, starts with a B, I picked Of Poseidon by Anna Banks. This is a book that I found at the bookstore. I just thought it was a cute cover and I thought it was mermaids, and I was like, this looks really good. It was amazing. I loved it so much. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I love mermaids, so I thought I would, but now I'm like, okay, I want to read all the mermaid books. This is about a girl named Emma. One day on the beach, her and her best friend are surfing and a shark comes and a shark attacks them and she like tries to fight it, and it's really good and it just pulls you in right from the beginning. And then she meets this guy named Gallon, and just her life is changed, and there's mermaids and merman, and oh my gosh, it's so good. I don't want to give it up. Next we have The Summoning by Kelley Armstrong. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This was read a book with a black cover. Okay, so throughout the book, she keeps seeing these ghosts and these certain different people. One time when she was younger, she saw something in the basement, and just like as she gets older, she sees more and more ghosts. So she gets sent to Lyle House to a group of troubled teens. I think I would have liked this more so I listened to a lot of it, because I do that often, because with my with being sick, my eyes don't always want to read. So I was listening to it. So I started listening to it at night, and I was in a Airbnb house and I was alone, and it was just kind of scary. So I felt like, okay, this is too scary. I'll only listen to it during the day. And then I listened to it during the day, and I felt like I was kind of like, I don't know if it's like really what I like, but I think because it kind of scared me a little bit. I don't like when I hear like whispers in the audiobook, like that kind of freaks me out. Next, I read The Passion by Lauren Kate. This was for Herbology, a flower on the cover. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. This is book 3 in the Fallen Angels series of Fallen. I don't want to give anything away, but Luce and Daniel are like soulmates that always get torn apart. But this one had a lot of time travel, and I did not like the time travel. It just wasn't interesting to me. The last book I read is Dream Dark by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This is the Beautiful Creature series, and this is book 2.5. I loved book 1 and 2, and I also loved book 2.5. This follows Link, and something happens to him, which I don't want to give away, and it follows his story unwinding. I was able to read 7 books for the NEWTS Readathon, and I actually finished early, and I was really proud of myself. So those are all the books that I read for the NEWTS Readathon, and I hope to make more of these videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!